Hello, hi Jenny. So welcome also to anybody who's here on YouTube, who I cannot see. So we'll be starting a mindfulness of breathing session in a few minutes. Just waiting for give the Zoom attendees, should I say, a few more minutes to arrive, and then we'll kick off. Oh, Jenny's upside down. That's an interesting trick. Most disturbing. I've seen a lot of meditation techniques, but I've never seen that one. It might work actually, standing in your head. I mean, you know, the blood will come to your head, won't it? It will affect your experience, definitely. Whether for better or for worse, I'm not quite sure.
So, Laborde, I've got some yoga ropes installed in my flat, and I hang upside down sometimes. Do it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I've not tried to meditate, but maybe next time I could give that a go. But it's definitely really relaxing.
You could give it a go, and the other thing is you might pass out, which wouldn't be good.
Well, I think, yeah, I know what I'm doing with them. So you go upside down, and then you kind of put your head on the wall for a few minutes. So maybe it's best after.
Okay, yeah. Well, if this is the last time I ever get to speak to you, Tom, then
Yeah.
it'd be nice knowing you.
It's perfectly safe.
Hi, Tony. Time is it? Oh, give it another couple of minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh, it's nice to be doing mindfulness of breathing for a change. I always seem to be doing metta bhavana in these lead meds. I don't know why, but it's just how it is. Makes a change. So how is everybody while we're here? How are you, Eleanor? There you are. Direct question.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm finished. So I've been in school recently because I'm a teacher, and I've been preparing all my things the last few days. So it's my first day sort of actually of holidays when I stayed at home, which is nice. I've slept a lot.
That's what you do. Actually.
You know, like when you just go, oh, I'm just gonna have a rest.
Imagine you deserve it. What was school experience like? A bit weird with COVID, I imagine.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is really strange, and just I suppose a lot of preparation for September, because it's very different in September from what it has been as well. So yeah, and there's just lots of things that you got to think about that you never thought about before, that you just kind of took for granted and did in a certain way, and you've got to rethink everything. Yeah. I spent a while on Monday just trying to, because I've got to have 15 tables facing forwards in my classroom now, and I was just trying to fit them in and still have access to get out the doors, and it took forever, just like shifting out. Oh, that doesn't work, I'll shift this one around. So yeah, it's funny how much things like that you just don't think about. And yeah.
Oh well, you deserve your rest then, I say. Okay, let's kick off then, shall we? So we'll be doing mindfulness of breathing, but I think we'll do an arriving short sit first. Oh, I'll get my singing bowl. Just 1 second. The day I remember to have this in the first place will be something special, I think. Never do. Okay, so we'll sit for 10 minutes or so and just do an arriving meditation, all the sort of thing you've done before many times, I'm sure. So just closing your eyes if you wish, making sure you're comfortable. And taking nothing for granted, even though you and I have done this many, many times before. I think that applies to all of you. So we really need to try and let go of as much as we can let go of this time. So that's to some degree, at least, unhooking from mental activity. You can never just ditch it, but you can sort of let go of it a bit. And just by getting into your direct experience. So experience of what actually is here now, what is arising in your perceptions. Not what the stories in our minds spin about it, which is where we spend a lot of our time, unfortunately. So feeling the contact with the seat, whatever you're sitting on. Feeling your weight. Again, weight is a descriptive word, but what does it actually feel like? So right now, really coming into direct experience of the weight of my body pressing down on the chair. And noticing that there's just an experience of pressure or whatever you want to call it. It's not really me and a chair. There's just a single experience. Same for your feet, which are probably touching the surface somewhere. Again, feeling that weight or pressure. So let's really go down, rooted into the earth. We are literally and metaphorically supported by the earth. Let's do a little earth breathing to begin with. The technique much taught by Roji Ray, the American Buddhist teacher. So imagining a space maybe 3 meters, 10 feet down into the earth. Just placing your attention there directly below you. So use your imagination for that. And then imagine breathing up from that place 10 feet below you in the earth, up through the base of the body, through the pelvic floor, right up the central channel of the body to the top of the head, to the scalp. And you can even imagine going beyond there, upwards. And then relaxing down, letting the breath return down through you and down into the earth. Exercise in imagination, relaxation, and groundedness. So let's just do that in silence for a minute or so. Take the breath even deeper down. Imagine it, 100 meters down into the earth. You focus down there and bring the breath up from there, up through the body and down again. And just bring the focus of the body back up, focus of the breath, sorry, back up into the body. Rest it in the area between the navel and the pelvic floor. Sometimes called the hara. Just imagine breathing into that area. Now we'll just shift the focus to the area of the head. This really emphasizes the difference between the direct experience of the head and what we often think of as our mind, where we think thoughts come from. So this is feeling your face, temperature on your face, the scalp, and attention to one ear and then the other. Just really taking the sensations, even though they're quite subtle. Continuing to relax. Lastly, we'll move our attention to the area around the heart. That's the heart area of the body. It's not literally the heart. Sort of somewhere in the center of the chest. Often the seat of our emotions. I'm trying to feel expansive around this area, open, as little defended as possible. Just breathing in and out of that area. Now letting go that specific attention and relaxing and letting go into the whole body. Direct experience of the whole body. Weight, pressure, temperature, muscle, feeling, etc. That includes maybe any slight discomforts. Of course, if there's a major one, then you should move. If there's something mild, that's quite interesting in a way. You can investigate that. So in the body, as seen from the body, if you see what I mean, not from the mind. Another minute or so, I'll ring the bell and bring this short meditation to an end. Hi, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Okay. I mean, the great thing about grounding exercises like that is you can do them anytime, especially if you're feeling stressed. Really, really helpful. Just slows down the heart rate, drops the blood pressure. And unlike breathing exercises, I suppose you can do that too, but you can kind of do it whilst in the middle of the stressful situation without seeming to be doing anything, which is quite useful. Still, don't blame me if the people in the meeting you're in at the time think you're not paying attention. Okay, so we're going on to mindfulness of breathing, which I know you've all done before. So I won't say very much, although there might be somebody on YouTube who hasn't, so I will briefly describe it. Usual format, 4 stages. The first one, we're breathing in, breathing out, and counting quietly in our minds to 1, then breathing in and out and counting to 2, and so on up to 10, and then starting again. And in the second one, you place the count just before the in-breath in the second phase, and the same thing. Then in the third phase, we don't count, we just watch the breath in the whole body. And in the fourth phase, we bring the attention to the breath coming in, the edge of the nose or the lip, if you're breathing through your mouth. But I'll mention it as we go along. I won't talk too much on this one. The breath is a great vehicle for attention. It's just something to help us bring our attention away from our ever busy minds. In fact, can't really do much of that here. I've done it a little bit, but certainly on some of the Monday night meditations, if some of you come to those sometimes, where we're going deeper with meditation. I hope in the future to be running a series on working with dhyana, so the higher states of consciousness, which you can get absorption, deeper absorption. And there you do realize that the breath, concentration on the breath or whatever it's on, is the vehicle. The point, it's the vehicle to help you get into deeper absorption. It is not the thing itself. So just as the counting can be the thing to help you concentrate on the breath, so the breath is the thing to bring you quieter and more absorbed to a more single pointed place of absorption. And if you want to go further with that into deeper states of consciousness, then you begin to look at the experience around that breath. What are you actually feeling? So in the sense of calmness is also enjoyable. It's peaceful. All the other hindrances are quieter. And so on. As I say, I'm not going to talk about a lot now. And that is the route into deeper and deeper states of absorption. Anyway, mindfulness breathing it is. So we'll meditate for just over 20 minutes now. So, okay, so if you want to just get comfortable again. Closing your eyes. Again, you don't have to close your eyes. You can have them just loosely open, looking down a little bit, very soft gaze, which does help, especially if you're very tired. And it's very good for insight meditations, but that's not what we're doing here. So I certainly recommend closing the eyes and just let go and relax. Just at the moment, we're not doing anything at all, just sitting. Really coming into the body. We could just lead straight back into where we were before in the previous short meditation. Direct experience of weight, temperature, muscle feeling, etc. The solidity of the body and its grounding, its connection straight down into the earth. With attention to the body, we're really in touch with just what's here now. Using mindfulness, we can do this with kindness, without judgment, just developing presence. Accepting everything that's happening. And that includes getting caught up in thought. That happens as soon as you realize, just dropping it and coming back to the body without judgment. So now we're moving into the first stage of the mindfulness of breathing. Bringing attention to a breath, not trying to alter it in any way. Although, of course, the minute you attend to it, it does alter a little. But it will normally settle down. No special attempt to slow it down or make it quieter. It will do that itself over time. Begin with the counting if you wish. So breathe in, breathe out. Quietly count 1. Breathe in, breathe out, count 2, and so on up to 10. Then starting again at 1. Counting is just a marker to help you attend to the breath. The breath to be your central focus. Not your only awareness, that wouldn't be possible. But your main primary area of awareness. If you use the counting before 10, again, no worries, that's very common. As soon as you realize, starting at 1 again. And often as you breathe out, checking to see whether you can let your shoulders drop naturally a little bit more. move to the second stage of the mindfulness of breathing. Here we subtly moving the count to just before you breathe in. 1, breathe in, breathe out. 2, breathe in, breathe out, and so on. Takes slightly more concentration and is slightly more energetic than the first phase. So on up to 10 and then starting at 1 again. If you feel sleepy, you could open your eyes a little. Preferably not looking at the screen, but above it or below it. And still following the breath. The mind wanders, that's fine. Just seeing those thoughts, knowing that that's a natural process. Bringing your attention back to your breath and your body. That's a real moment of awareness. Awareness easily drifts. It's not something we're used to maintaining all the time. Enjoying any feeling of calm and relaxation that comes with the process. That feeling of enjoyment is absolutely central. to motivating us to continue meditating. Now we move to stage 3 of the mindfulness of breathing. Dropping any count if you were counting. Watching the whole of the breath. Where is the body moving in relation to the breath? Obviously the rib cage. And the stomach slightly. Can you trace the movement in your arms or your back? Even into the pelvic area, even into the legs perhaps. Slight lifting, stretching or tensioning, very subtle. If you like, you can associate the breath with gentle waves on a shore, on a beach. Coming in and then drifting out again, coming in, drifting out again. You're feeling more peaceful, more centered. Take note of what that peaceful, centered, calming experience actually feels like. See if you can transfer some of your attention to that. Now we move to the last stage of the mindfulness of breathing. Now bringing our attention to the very subtle movement of the breath at the tip of the nose, or perhaps on the upper lip if you're breathing through your mouth. See if you can narrow your concentration to this point. Get lost with thoughts, probably best to come back to the whole breath first and then back slowly to that point again. Maybe noticing the minute difference between the temperature of the air coming in and then going back out again. As the body warms it. Enjoying the feeling of concentration and calm. Really reapplying the concentration for the last minute, and then we'll just sit for a bit after that. Now letting the concentration go. Just sitting, doing absolutely nothing. Enjoying the fruits, if any, of the period of peace. In a minute, I'll ring the bell and bring this meditation to an end. Great, well, really nice to share that with you guys. I can assure you, one doesn't just teach meditation, the point is one has to take part in it, otherwise it's not the real deal. So, you also get the experience of calmer and less calm meditations sometimes, but it does vary, very much. That was quite useful for me because I've had a rather busy morning. So lovely to see you all, and see you at other events as I'm getting used to your faces now, which is lovely. In the case of Tony, I'm imagining it, not her wallpaper, because I know what she looks like. She looks like that. Okay, so see you soon.